Google Pixel 8a. I wanted to go through everything that I like about this and don't like about this phone. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the bad stuff, and that is that this charges very slowly. 18 watts. It takes over an hour to fully charge this 44 plus 100 milliamp battery, and it's crazy. I think it takes like 80 minutes or something like that. It takes a really, really long time to charge this, which is pretty unfortunate. A lot of phones now are at 25 at least watts. Sometimes you'll see them, depending if it's a Chinese phone, you see like 100 watts, but it's really, really slow. It's gonna take a long time, and just be prepared for some very, very slow wired charging. Now to continue with the bad stuff, most of these colors, like this is the green one, only comes in 128 gigs. All the colors only come in 128 gigs, except the black color, which comes in 128 and 256 gigs of storage. So if you use this a fair amount and you're taking photos and videos and downloading apps and games, you're gonna run out of storage very, very quickly. Storing your music, I love storing my Spotify music on these phones. You're gonna run out really, really quickly. And if you wanna get something more, you're gonna have to go just for the kind of plain old boring black color instead of this beautiful green. It's definitely a downer to have such low storage amounts. Speaking of low storage amounts, all the phones only come with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Doesn't matter which storage amount or color you get, they're all 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is unfortunate because you're gonna get years and years and years and years and years of updates. And before you know it, this phone is gonna be very sluggish, very sluggish. It has a Tensor G3, but 8 gigs of RAM is not going to age well at all. It's gonna feel very, very slow. If you plan to hold this, I would say for over 3 years, I would say by the 3rd year, 4th year, it's really gonna start to slow down. Now let's get to the good stuff, because there's a lot to be liked about this phone. 499 bucks, which isn't a bad price, but it's how easy it is to hold it in your hand. It's 6.1 inches and it's extremely hand holdable, which is excellent news because a lot of phones are super, super big. So 6.1 inches, which is, again, good to hold in your hand, but it's also big enough to see everything on the display, which is great. So, you know, if you're someone that wanted a smaller phone with a still pretty good sized display, look no further. This is going to be a phone to look at. The display on this is up to 2000 nits of brightness. So outdoor viewing on this is really, really good. You know, I'm not, when I say that I like some of these things about this phone, it doesn't mean they're the absolute best, but for this phone and for what you want to use it for, viewing outdoors is really respectful. And you can totally see what's going on outdoors with this, again, 2000 nits, 6.1 inch OLED display. And speaking of this 6.1 inch, 120 hertz OLED display, the display looks great, but beyond that, 120 hertz, I love that they put this on here. You can't even get that with an inexpensive iPhone, but with the Pixel 8a for 500 bucks basically, you can. You have a really smooth 120 hertz refresh rate, and the display gets bright and the colors are nice, and overall it just is great for viewing and playing games and things like that on that 120 hertz refresh rate. Now, some people will complain about the Tensor G3 processor, and you know, it's a solid processor. It's definitely not the best. Obviously, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 3, 4, when that comes out, are better than it in a raw horsepower sense. But this phone holds up really, really well in performance. You know, day-to-day operations and social media operations, and using this to browse the web and to play gaming at medium to high settings depending upon the game, all works really, really good. And the Tensor G3 might get a lot of heat from the nerdy tech community, but in the day-to-day operations, like I said, it's excellent. Really, really good. And then everything else you're gonna get, again, medium to, you know, kind of high performance overall. Cameras and microphones, I should point out. Great microphones on this and good solid cameras as well. Definitely not as good as like the Pixel 8 or 8 Pro, but it comes fairly close. You still get really nice, sharp, colorful, beautiful photos. It will also, you know, Pixel phones tend to take more of a darker image, but it's definitely sharp. It looks really nice on the photos and videos that you will take. And again, I love the microphones on the Pixel phones. They perform very, very well. So if you're looking for a phone that is inexpensive and takes good quality photos and solid videos up to 4K, check out the Pixel 8a, because I walk away impressed with it. And generally, in general, can I say that? I'm gonna say it. Pixel 8a does a really, really good job. Now the Pixel 8a does have stereo speakers and they're pretty solid. I'm gonna just play something real quick. Welcome to Grego's TV Daily. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We have some really, really weird news about the quality of the sound is solid. The volume is solid. I walk away impressed. The fingerprint sensor is very accurate, and you know, not to say it shouldn't be, but you walk away sometimes with phones and their fingerprint sensors and they just don't work really well, and the Pixel 8a definitely does. So if you want something that's accurate and works well, definitely it's a solid point on the Pixel 8a. Now, I complained about the speed charging of the wireless being at 18 watts, and to be fair, the wireless charging is only 7.5 watts, which is even slower, but it has wireless charging. That's a good thing. So if you wanted to wirelessly charge this phone, it has it, and that's something that can't be said of a lot of inexpensive phones that are released in America. A lot of them don't have wireless charging. Pixel 8a does. It also is water resistant at IP67, so it's dust and water resistant, can go under about 3 feet of water for 30 minutes. So if you drop it in the toilet or the pool, it should be safe and you should be fine. You could even, again, probably swim with it a little bit in the pool or like a river or lake, something fresh water. And you should be absolutely fine with that because it has the IP67 dust and water resistance. Battery life is also good on the Pixel 8a. You should get through almost a full day of usage with this phone, which I can't say that about my Galaxy Z Fold 5. I can get into the late morning, early afternoon, depending upon when you start your day. And but again, this phone definitely lives up to the hype with fairly good, solid battery life. AI features are so cool, and the Pixel 8a brings them to us. You get a lot of the stuff that you get in the photos with the photo editing, which you would expect because they've been there for a fair amount of time now with the Pixel phones. So if you love all the AI generation and editing tools with the Google Photos app that comes with the Pixel phone, but then you also get Circle to Search, which allows you to search for things on your screen really easily. And then, it has all the built-in calling features as well to have an AI robot talk to whoever's calling you to answer your calls and transcribe those to you so that you can read it and not have to always answer your phone. So AI is all on here and it works great. I love this green color. I'm so glad Pixel sent this to me because this color is amazing, guys. It looks so good and so refreshing. And you don't get a lot of colors like this on phones. A lot of phones are kind of boring colored, and this is just so fun. I really, really love this color, and looks great. So if you're gonna buy this and you're fine with 128 gigs of storage, get the green. And that's pretty much it about the Pixel 8a. I mean, it's not a perfect phone by any means, but if you're looking at getting a Pixel phone and want to get in there for a reasonable price at about $500, or a lot of the time they have deals on these, and they will as the year goes on with the holidays coming up and whatever holiday it may be. It could be a summer holiday or a fall/winter holiday. You're gonna get some crazy deals on this phone, and then trading in a phone is gonna drop it even more. So check it out. It's a good, solid phone. It's not the best phone that Pixel puts out, and it's not supposed to be, but it's a good, solid phone with very little complaints. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road.